Please be seated. Graduates, you may be seated. Good morning, all, and welcome to Kents Hill's graduation for the class of 2025. I am Dr. Molly McKean, the very proud head of school, and I'm thrilled that we are here together to celebrate our graduates. This is a special class for many reasons. In addition to their many individual and collective accomplishments, this is the class that has helped us to usher in the 3rd century of our school's history, and it is a class that has helped to welcome me as I have celebrated my own first year here on the Hill. For that, they will always have a particularly soft spot in my heart. I will have the privilege of ushering us through today's events, and we will open with an invocation from Reverend Shannon Keeney in honor of our school's Methodist roots. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Keeney to the podium.
Today, I invoke the spirit of the one who created all wisdom, the giver of knowledge, compels innovation to rise in each new era. Dear author of us all, creator of the universe, founder of the smallest particle, you hold students in your hands. Help them to see that they are not alone as they walk into the next stage of their journey, but instead they stand in the echoes of footprints, visionaries who came before. God, we thank you for those of you that have shepherded, and though others have shepherded and blazed trails, so we step more lightly along already. We are humbled by those who imagine new possibilities which are now our realities. I pray that you might spark such creativity in our graduates. Inspire them to see what is yet realized, to envision a world waiting to be lived. Mark Twain said, "Knowledge becomes wisdom only after it has been put to good use." Graduation is a moment when we celebrate the power of information as a life-changing entity. So we give thanks to you, holder of our past, our present, and our future, that these students leave this place wiser than when they first arrived at Kents Hill. For we know that it is not just data that they retain, but the tools to make meaning of it. They have developed their reasoning skills, their creativity, their humility, and their curiosity. We pray that they become sages, not only in intellect, but in heart, skilled in building community, in self-reflection, and in cultivating a character that is thoughtful, peaceful, balanced, and bold. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Keeney. And thank you again, all of you, for joining us here for today's events. We gather for important reasons: to honor the accomplishments of our soon-to-be graduates, to mark this moment of momentous transition in their lives. The students graduating today have arrived here as a result of their incredible hard work and of the support of the broad communities that have nurtured them on the way. A special joy of any graduation day is welcoming the families who are the origin story of these networks of care. And I will go no further without asking our graduates to get on their feet and show their gratitude to the families that got them to this day. Graduates, let's hear it. Thank you. And to our families, it has been a joy and privilege to be part of that story for each and every one of these students. during their time here, and thank you for sharing them with us. But when we stand on the precipice of a major life transition, there can also be a lot of emotion that goes with it. There is joy and pride, and also sadness and loss, perhaps a bit of relief, and inevitably some anxiety about the great beyond. And perhaps that's why I actually long struggled with graduations. These highly scripted days, the caps, the gowns, the we did it vibe, that too often seems to me not to leave enough space for the many things together that a day like today inevitably is. I actually didn't make my peace with graduations until my most recent graduation, when I was finishing up graduate school, just over a decade ago now. It was a graduation that reframed for me some of what a tradition like this can be. That awakening occurred because I was finally experiencing a graduation I almost didn't make it to, marking the end of one of the most messy and humbling and transformative chapters of my life. My years in grad school broke me apart and rebuilt me, which is really disorienting and uncomfortable. It was also a hugely necessary chapter for me to figure some things out, including what a day like today really honors, aside from the pomp and circumstance. And so I wanted to take a few moments to share a bit of that story, a bit of my learning, and some of what I hope our graduates might take from today as they move forward from their lives on the Hill. Now, if you are graduates, ask adults about the most important chapters of their lives, we will most often not tell you about our smooth successes. We will tell you about the challenging things we navigated and how these changed us. The ever-wise Adam Grant actually says this is a thing we get wrong about our resumes as we become adults, that our personas and our public personas too often showcase our successes rather than the struggles that were far more formative to who we became. He says on the low-light reel he should be talking about are how he failed his college writing test, got rejected for his first teaching job, got rejected for his first 3 TED Talks, and over 100 academic journal submissions. And I could rely on him to make this point perfectly well, but it doesn't really seem to fit the spirit of the assignment. And so my low-light reel, if I'm going to tell you about a moment when I learned about the power of struggle and failure to help me to grow, I'm going to need to tell you about that time I was unanimously kicked out of graduate school because I wasn't good enough. And that happened in the first year of my PhD program at Northwestern. As my first year class was navigating a series of qualifying exams, I'd worked pretty hard all year. I thought I'd even done okay. I had conferred with my mentor about the work I was doing, and he had been, in hindsight, cagey but supportive. But when it came time for the results of the qualifying process, the program head called me into her office to let me know that the professors had convened and that I had been removed from the department. I did not qualify to continue as a doctoral student. I don't remember much about this conversation, but beyond the fairly significant panic that my grad funding and my health insurance and my job, it was all coming to an end. And it hurt in all the obvious ways that rejection always does. And that it was unanimous, that my advisor hadn't had my back. Yeah, I felt hurt, I felt anger and injustice. And underneath was also shame. In the end, the problem was that in taking for granted that I was smart enough to be there, I had actually shown no evidence that I deserved to stay. The road to redemption was a humbling one. The only way back in was to swallow my pride and schedule a meeting with every single professor and ask, what can I do to restore my faith, your faith in my capacity to do this thing? I don't know if I first took on that gargantuan task for the right reasons, because in hindsight I can recognize that part of what was driving me was just a desire to prove them wrong. And in the end, I saw that they were right. I'd been coasting. Not in terms of doing the work, I always worked hard, but in terms of exercising my brain. I was really good at doing school. I'd played a lifetime of A's and APs straight through college and into a PhD program, and so imagine with me, feeling like you've got it all figured out, you know how to play the game. And to have a professor tell you, and I quote, because this one sticks around, Molly, I voted you out because I find your work terribly dull. You synthesize beautifully, but I don't care. Find the courage to tell me what you have to say. I'll probably tell you you're wrong, but at least then you'd be worth my time. And he was right. I'd been given a chance to mix with the very best minds, and I hadn't cared to participate. I was so afraid of being wrong that I had forgotten that real learning has to risk failure. and has to be rooted in faith in one's capacity to get back up afterwards. And I had played it so safe that I had failed utterly to earn my place among those brilliant minds. And to stay, which I did, and to prove myself, which I did, and to recover my sense of pride, which I would eventually do, I was going to have to stare that failure of faith in myself unflinchingly in the face and have conviction that this will not be how this story ends. And if you ask me now what I feel in remembering that chapter, I will tell you it is first shame, and in the end pride that I did it. And the emotion that bridges the gap, the emotion that got me from one place to the other, is gratitude, starting with my friend Jane. During the weeks I had failed out of graduate school, I had to do a lot of writing. I was told if I wanted to stay, I had to cram a year's worth of research and papers into about 4 weeks and petition to return. By the middle of this stretch, I was in a pretty desperate state. I worked and slept on my couch, consuming books, gutting and reworking papers, the hum of endless Law and Order running in the background. And somewhere amidst this, my friend Jane sent me a text message. Hey, I know you probably haven't had time to cook. I was at the store and the lasagnas were buy one, get one. I'm going to swing one by. I said, that's sweet. I don't have time to hang. I'm trying to get another draft done tonight. She said, that's okay. I'm just going to drop it by. But when she arrived, the lasagna wasn't ready to eat. It was frozen, in fact, which felt confusing. And she just kind of elbowed in, get back to work. She said, I'm just going to heat it up. And while it heated up, which took an hour, she neatened the cushions and hung up my coat. She did the dishes, she watered the plants, and she started a fresh pot of coffee. And when the timer binged on the stove, she pulled out the lasagna and said, it's ready whenever you are. You got this. And she left, leaving my home more humane and my soul lightened by the gift of a free frozen lasagna. And I would posit that it is only when we are tested that we can really notice how powerful these acts of small kindness can be. There is a poem called Small Kindnesses by Danusha Lamaris that goes like this. I've been thinking about the way when you walk down a crowded aisle, people pull in their legs to let you by. Or how strangers still say bless you when someone sneezes, a leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot and to say thank you to the person handing it. For the waitress to call us honey when she sets down the bowl of clam chowder, and for the driver in the red pickup truck to let us pass. We have so little of each other now, so far from tribe and fire, only these brief moments of exchange. What if they are the true dwelling of the holy, these fleeting temples we make together when we say, here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. I like your hat. The power of small kindnesses is that they take so little from us, but they do require faith. Because most often we toss one out there, and we get little in return. You could say nice hat, someone says thanks, and nice hat is rarely earth-shattering. But mostly I think we engage in small kindnesses in the distant hope that what we could do could land exactly where and when someone needs it most, and when that little thing might make someone's life better. That tiny fleeting hope, born out of faith in what might be, has always struck me as the true dwelling of the holy, the fleeting temples that the poem references. And if you ask my friend Jane, she might not even remember that she came to my apartment that day. I will never forget it. And it is the unforeseen power of such a small act that can restore our faith in the overwhelming power of just being good to each other in this world. And that kind of being good to each other is so essential because of how much we need each other on the way through the challenges of our lives. The things we do in life that remake us for the wiser and the better and the stronger, they can only be so transformative because they unmake something of what we were before. That process involves both creation and destruction. Our graduates are here today, not the people they were when they arrived here. Both because of the things you had to become and because of the prior versions of yourself you had to let go of to make space for that evolution. That is both beautiful and terrifying. Allowing that kind of change to happen takes hard work and faith in your capacity to navigate that journey between what was and what will be. And maintaining that courage is infinitely easier when we know someone around us might give us a hand up if we need it. And it wasn't until my graduation that I finally got it. I could see that day, that what that day marked wasn't something that had been perfect. Whatever the ceremony of the day, it had all been gloriously imperfect, and that, therefore, had made me much more ready to be steady in the world. And it was a thing I had done because I needed and accepted so much help on the way. And so when I did get my doctorate, 7 years later, despite my previous lack of sentimentality, I actually went to my graduation. And I wore these giant purple robes billowing behind me through the streets of Chicago. And people, total strangers, congratulated me. I rode the L to my graduation, and the conductor saw me as the train pulled into the station and announced over the loudspeaker to the entire station, "Oh, Chicago, we got a graduate on board. The doctor's in the house." "Looking sharp, doctor," one stranger said, doffing his own cap to me. No, nice hat is rarely earth-shattering, except when it is. And for me that day it was. I laughed and I cried and I was awash with joy because I had fought for it. And the fullness of that story and the small kindnesses on the way not only restored my faith in myself, but in everything around me. Here are my 3 quick punchlines at the end of this tale. First, to our graduates, I hope you hold faith in your heart that we are here to honor you, not because any of this was smooth and easy, but instead because it probably wasn't, and you got here anyway. And that is so worth you hearing, because I can't promise life gets any easier from here. So the more you know you are strong and resilient and resourceful, the more confident you will be in your capacity to figure it out, even when one day is a hard one. Always remember that so much of the meaning of the story of who we are is just the timing of the telling. And so the most important thing you can do is just keep going through all the peaks and valleys. Keep faith in yourself and your ability to do hard things. You have done many of them already, as evidenced by you being here. Second, remember to keep faith in the power of small kindnesses. Small acts of kindness won't have a dramatic effect in this world, except when they do. And sometimes that one little thing you do will be the thing that helps to pick someone up when they need it most, and that will mean the world to them. Leave yourself open to that possibility. Those acts will become the habits that can renew the power of kindness in this world. Finally, use those small acts of care to knit for yourselves the communities that will enrich your lives. A community is, in the end, just a group of people who want the best for each other, who look out for each other, who ensure everyone gets a hand up when they stumble. We hope we have been that for you in your time here, and that you have felt that. Every time Mrs. Christensen made you come by for extra help in AP Bio, or Pat Kane took the time to warm up the bus as he got busy cleaning the snow off of it, or Mrs. Michaud tracked you down when you forgot to sign in because she cared that you were safe. And you have been that for each other in ways that were beautiful to watch. Now it is time for you to move past our small community here on the Hill, but take with you what you have learned and share it with the broader world. You are ready, and the world needs more of what you have to give. And now we will move on with our ceremony, and I will invite our first student speaker, Ashley Charles, to the podium to share her thoughts on today. But to our graduates, I close with the observation that we are here because you made us proud, and we look forward to watching the many more ways you do this as you move forth from this place. Congratulations, Huskies.
Thank you, Dr. McKean. Good morning, graduates, faculty, friends, and family. I am so pleased to be able to speak to you all on such a significant occasion. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Ashley Charles, and I'm a 4-year senior, soon-to-be alum here at Kents Hill. Today, I have been tasked with sharing something that I have learned at Kents Hill that has shaped me the most profoundly, that I will carry with me forward after graduating. The first moment that I began to notice the importance of showing up was in my junior year. Last year, I received news that I was getting inducted into the National Honor Society. And there was a ceremony to celebrate the incoming members. After the ceremony was completed around 8 p.m., people were asking my parents what hotel they were staying in for the night. They simply responded that they were going straight home after this to be with my grandmother for her birthday the next day. My parents and sister made a 12-hour round-trip drive to be able to attend my hour-long NHS induction ceremony. I vividly remember my dad telling people, The distance doesn't matter, it's important to show up. Remembering this event and others before it, I've concluded that the thing that I have learned that has shaped me the most profoundly from Kent Hill is the importance of being present for others. Reflecting on my time at Kent Hill, I have started to realize how I have changed so significantly due to my experiences here. Coming to Kent Hill, I was shy, nervous, and scared to be in a place so far from home and unfamiliar to me, but I have frequently been reminded that there will always be someone who is there for you. Whether it was in my sophomore year when I had stage fright and Miss Chute accompanied me onto the stage during all-school meeting to put on a dress code fashion show, when Smitty found a way to relate to me when I thought it was the end of the world when I was not getting great grades on assignments, but comforted me and let me know that everything was going to be okay. When Mrs. Reynolds had overheard me say that I was hungry one night and offered me a meal from her kitchen and conversed with me over dinner. Or even during this year when I was having a really tough week, and although it took me a while to open up about it, I had friends there with me every day, comforting me until I was ready to talk about it. I also had Bev, who listened to me, no questions asked, and let me know that I was not alone, never hesitating to offer Emily and me to visit her cats, Kenny and Missy. Looking back on these experiences on how others have helped me when I needed it, I can also reflect on how I have learned from these people and been present for others. At Kent Hill, I've been doing simple things. Showing up to the girls' hockey senior game, showing up to the track meets with Mr. and Mrs. Stelmack, going to a theater performance that I was not acting in, having a sleepover with Stephanie and Bailey on the last day of school, accompanying a friend in the lounge as they finish a homework assignment, or even accompanying a friend as they pack their last things to get ready to go home. Having experienced being on the other side of any situation like these, I know how important it is to be present for the people you care most about. I have been a proctor for 3 years at Kent Hill, and understanding how important it is to be present for others is the driving force behind my leadership skills. The presence of others has also helped to transform me into a more confident and outgoing version of myself, now knowing that it's okay to be nervous and to make mistakes every once in a while. If I had not learned the importance of presence through faculty and friends at Kent Hill being present for me, I do not think that I would be the person who I am today. One of the 4 cornerstones of Kent Hill is in your corner all the time. I believe that the experiences that I've shared today are proof that the Kent Hill community lives by this value. My presence on this stage also shows the importance of it, being that although I am nervous to give this speech today, I recognize the importance of showing up and sharing my message with you all. Being present for someone does not always mean being there when they're having a rough time. Being present for someone is being a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, or even just being a supporting friend from the stands. Even to the family and friends in the crowd who have come to celebrate the accomplishments of their graduates today, it may seem like a really small thing, but you have no idea just what your presence can do for a person. I hope that sharing what I have learned today at Kent Hill with you all will also encourage you to recognize the importance of your presence and how it can change a person. Congratulations to the class of 2025, and thank you.
On Thursday of this week, we closed out the academic year here for the Kent Hill community with a slew of awards on Prize Day, including some of our significant senior awards. We saved 5 of those awards for today. I will present them individually. The Head of School Award is given to a senior for displaying exemplary citizenship and pride in the school community and for achieving significant personal growth as a Kent Hill student. I am pleased and proud to give the Head of School Award this year to Jonah Jenkins. The Knowles Prize is given in memory of Mark T. Knowles, class of 1885, and is awarded to a senior for excellence in scholarship and other outstanding merit. The recipient of this year's Knowles Prize is Samantha Piper. The Lydia and Luther Sampson Award is given in memory of the school's founders to the senior who has excelled in the classroom and in extracurricular activities. The 2025 Lydia and Luther Sampson Award goes to Felix Antoine Parenteau. Class of 1913 award is given in memory of the class of 1913 and nominates that senior who, in the estimation of the faculty, has exercised the greatest influence for good during the year. The class of 1913 award this year goes to Ashley Charles. And finally, the Rist Bonifond Person of Principle Award is given to that member of the graduating class who best embodies the core belief of the school's statement of mission, that one person of principle can always make a difference. The Rist Bonifond Person of Principle Award this year goes to Ted Alfond. And I would now like to announce our second student speaker and welcome him to the podium, Ben Shapdalin.
Thank you, Dr. McKean. Good morning, everyone. Wow, I've got to say that, despite speaking in front of the entire student body and all the faculty twice a week for the last 8 months, this is definitely the biggest crowd I've had to address yet. As I thought of what I was going to say today, I roamed the internet searching for the best graduation speech, watching endless TikToks and YouTube videos for inspiration, but I thought to myself, I really want to leave a mark. So I thought of something unique. I've decided that I'm going to sing to you instead. I'm a bit nervous, so bear with me. I'm just kidding. Are you guys crazy? If only you parents saw me perform dressed up as Celine Dion during Winter Carnival, but anyways. Jokes aside, I'm here today to address all the family and friends in the crowd, as well as the faculty, on behalf of my classmates and I, with the goal of leaving you all with a heartfelt thank you and a glimpse into just how much your support has meant to us over the years. I first want to kick things off by thanking my parents and family, because this journey would not have been possible without them. Next, I would like to thank the teachers, athletic coordinators, coaches, everyone in the administration, and all those that contributed in making our time here as students so memorable. Oh, and how could I forget? I'd also like to thank ChatGPT, of course. I'm just kidding. If anyone were to ask me if I'd recommend sending their kid to prep school, specifically Kent Hill, I would without hesitation tell them absolutely. I had aspirations of attending prep school long before I even knew the beauty of what goes on within this community. I was driven by the opportunity to play hockey at the prep level and live in a dorm with all of my best friends. But looking back, it really was the little things that made it so special and that we'll remember for the rest of our lives. Little things like cooking with Sherry whenever we wanted to, helping out in the dish room while blasting Katy Perry, tennis court parties, and some in Davis, shout out Club 207, spring fling, advisory outings, campfires, community dinners, road trips, and much more. Luckily, in our generation, we were able to capture most of these on camera, but they will forever be engraved in our brains nonetheless. The greatest gifts in life are not in the plans. They're in the detours. 3 years ago, I never could have imagined to be here today, blessed with the opportunity to be giving a graduation speech to people from all around the world. Although my time at Kent Hill may have been short-lived, these past 2 years have been two of the most pivotal years of my life. I first stepped foot on campus in August of 2023, knowing a handful of guys on the hockey team, and I now leave in May of 2025 with friendships from all over the world that will last a lifetime and countless lessons learned along the way. I now look over to my fellow graduates. Success and happiness await each and every one of you. Although it's important to be careful with the word success. Success is not a measure of how much money you make or the job you have. A successful life is one with purpose and fulfillment. Find your purpose, stay true to yourself, and chase happiness. Fear should be your best friend. On the other side of it lies your aspirations, lies your dreams and aspirations. If ever you're nervous or worried about making a mistake, don't be. Remember that we're all human and everybody makes mistakes. What matters most is that you learn from them, grow because of them, and keep moving forward. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. Believe in yourself, even when it's hard. And when the road gets bumpy, remember that you've already made it this far. That strength is yours forever. There's this quote that my grandpa often repeats to me. Grampy, for those of you who know him. And it goes, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Now, some of you may be thinking, what does this mean, or why does this resonate with me so much? In order to be lucky in life, you need to be prepared. Create your own luck. If an opportunity presents itself, take it. We can all wish in life and hope to have everything delivered to us on a silver platter, but the truth is, life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. Grampy reminds me that luck isn't magic. It's the result of hard work meeting the right moment. So don't just sit around hoping to be lucky. Be ready, get ready, and when your moment comes, own it. Now I'll leave you with a few parting words. All we've ever wanted to do was grow up. We grew up watching the clock tick, waiting for the bell to ring at the end of the day. We couldn't wait for summer to come when the winter winds hit us on our way to class. We were all so excited to move on with our lives and become adults. But now, here we are, on this big stage in front of all our loved ones with only memories to look back on. We were all so focused on what we had coming up that we tend to forget what we have right in front of us. Learn to enjoy the now. Live in the moment. Be grateful for the opportunities that this life has given us, because these moments, right here, right now, are the ones that will carry with us forever. Life will keep moving, and there will always be something ahead, but don't let that blur what's happening around you. Take it in, appreciate the people, the memories, the little things. One day, we'll look back and realize that these were the days that shaped us. And with that, congratulations, class of 2025. We are the people we aspire to be, and remember, we're all precious cargo. Thank you.
It is now time to present diplomas to our graduates. Assisting with the presentation of awards will be Ms. Renee Davis, our Associate Head of School, and they will be presented by Ms. Pat Hatler, Chair of the Board of Trustees. We have a longstanding tradition here at Kents Hill where current employees and members of our Board of Trustees will also help present diplomas to their graduates. Let's go ahead and get in position, friends. And we're going to be graduating by advisory this year, so first row. Please stand, and I would now like to invite Ms. Barr up to begin by graduating her advisory.
Now, I would like to introduce Catherine Nora Madeleine Green. Micah Sydney Hammer. I invite R.J. Jenkins to come up. Jonah Joseph Jenkins. Davison Smith Ozerkis. Gabriel James Robinson. Amelie Anna Irma Zackerson. Please welcome Ms. Bennett's advisory group.
Let's go. All right. Annabelle Elizabeth Blaze. Josephine Lee Sorrell. Julia Grace Gutman. Virginia Ann Howell. And Karina Danielle Liner. I would now like to welcome Mr. Shabbat.
Okay. Anthony Demopoulos. Axel Horald Vigo Frolen. Nicholas Jan Smagach. Zachary Sadas. I'd like to welcome Ms. Davis and Ms. A's advisory.
Thank you. Catherine Grace Arner. Kaylin Marie Bork. Maya May Jesperson. I now invite Dan McDonald to come up to present the diploma to his daughter. Lucy Grace McDonald. Ekram Sarp Yusko. Will Ms. Fordier's group please approach the stage?
You ready? Okay, good. Where are we? Aline Gillot. Renaud Gremelet. Thank you, baby. Benjamin James Natchbull Hugeson. Nicholas Scott. I invite Ms. Graciano's and Mr. Hannon's advisory to come forward.
Benjamin Charles Shapdalin. Kayla Josephine Clapp. Oliver Majewski. Emma Lynn Morrison.
William Harrison Precourt. Michelle Robert Seda. Denise Vasquez Villar. Delphin Yüksel. I'm pleased to invite Mr. Hodgins' advisory to the stage.
And I invite John and Ted Alfond to the stage. Theodore Rocky Alfond. Avery Morgan Campos. Nicholas Gonzalez Ferrari. Kate Sakura Hopkins. Will Ms. Kimball and Ms. Leach's advisory please come to the stage?
The Kimball Leach Advisory has mostly juniors, but we are really proud to have one senior graduating today, Emily Roy. Will Mr. Lombardi's advisory come forward?
Cohen, Clinton, Percy, Galley, in absentia. Nathaniel Hebert, in absentia. Here we go. Ty Rickus, Jr. Michael Desolane Tesfaye. I'll now invite Mr. McInerney's advisory.
All right. So I'd like to invite Robin Stelmach to the stage. Gladstone, Carlisle, Seth Meadows. Jacob Naui Sauna. Dan Paulin. I'd like to invite Robin back. Oh, she's still here. Bernie Stelmach. I'd like to invite Ms. Nanoff's advisory to the stage.
Ebony Rose Lashane. Grace Eva Orr. Emma Ospala. Amelia Grace Canal. Will Dr. Priest's advisory please approach?
Aiden Wyatt Anderson. Melina Ann Banduveris. Trevor Kenneth Buck. Le Vu Queen An. Pablo Zuro Alcantara. And now I'd like to invite Mrs. Reynolds' advisory to the stage.
Jaden Kim. Raphael Landry. Helena Malcolm S. Felix Antoine Parenteau. And now, Mr. Smith and Mr. Min's advisory, please approach.
Tave Raymond Cloutier. Thomas Lacroix. Oscar Hugo Romberg. Carter Galley in absentia, and Jan Michael Tepper. I'd like to invite Ms. Whitestone's advisory to the stage.
Ashley Samantha Charles. Lucas Ko Huang. Delaine Hadamijo. Elliot Daniel Marks. Samantha R. Piper. At this time, I'd like to invite the graduates to all rise, please. It is time to move your tassels from the right side to the left side to signify your graduation and symbolize your transition into your next great adventure. Congratulations.
Thank you, graduates. All right, we're now going to have our employee choir set up for a little piece. So graduates, you may be seated, and we'll move on to the next item in our program.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. Singing with love and the will to trust.
I would now like to invite our faculty speaker, Mr. Brian Smitty Smith, to give his address.
All right, I know you're all itching to get out of here, so bear with me. Good morning, faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. 4 years ago, maybe 5, possibly 6, you walked into high school with masks on your faces, uncertainty in the air, and the world feeling a little bit upside down. What should have been a normal start became anything but. There were Zoom classes, quarantines and bubbles in dorms, socially distanced classrooms, and seasons canceled before they even began. But today, you sit here, not only as graduates, but as young people who have learned in the deepest and most personal ways what it means to persevere. You've lived a high school experience that no one could have scripted, but the way you showed up day after day was something only the strongest could write. At Kents Hill, a school built on community, early mornings, arduous classes, icy fields, tough practices, and tighter friendships, you've learned more than just academics and athletics. You've learned what dedication looked like when no one's watching. You've learned what loyalty feels like when you're far from home and relying on each other. And you've learned that hard work isn't just a buzzword, it's a lifestyle. You showed up to 6 a.m. practices when you were exhausted. You stayed up late studying after away games that took you across New England. You worked through pain, pushed through fatigue, and supported each other, even when you felt like you had nothing left in the tank. That kind of commitment can't be taught in a textbook. It's earned through team huddles, play rehearsals, dorm halls and antics, cold winter mornings, and pickleball and cornhole under the lights on a warm night. But there's another lesson that shaped you deeply: responsibility. Responsibility is more than doing your part. It's about understanding that your actions, your words, and your effort affect not just your own future, but the people beside you. You've taken ownership of your teams, your studies, your dorms, and your community. You've learned to lead by example, not just with a C on your jersey or a leadership title, but with integrity, consistency, and heart. In a world that often tries to pass the blame, you've chosen to show up, take charge, and own the paths that you've chosen. Always remember, no one is perfect. We are all human and therefore prone to lapses in judgment, leading to mistakes made. But these mistakes do not define who you are as individuals. Your understanding of what it means to be responsible allows you to take those mistakes, learn from them, and move forward, clipping another piece to your armor going into the amazing battle that we call life. You're all soldiers in this world, and your time at Kents Hill has allowed you to learn, train, execute, and amend those skills in preparation for the next steps in your great battle. Responsibility means doing the right thing even when no one's there to notice, and you've done it again and again. That sense of ownership is what will set you apart long after today, whether you're leading in a boardroom, a classroom, a locker room, or your own home. But let me be clear, responsibility will guide you, but perseverance, dedication, and loyalty will carry you. Perseverance is not about being unbreakable. It's about being able to break and still find the courage to stand back up. Dedication is not about being perfect. It's about choosing to do the hard thing, the right thing, over and over again, even when no one claps for it. And loyalty, it's the bond that held you together. Teammates, castmates, classmates, roommates, when everything else felt uncertain. You've had each other's backs, and that loyalty is what will keep you grounded as you go forward into a world that can be as challenging as it is beautiful. So today, you graduate with more than a diploma. You graduate with the confidence of knowing that you've already faced adversity and overcome it. You graduate with the kind of character that employers, colleges, and teams can't coach. You graduate with the strength of knowing that you don't quit when things get hard. You dig in, you rise, and you lead. So, class of 2025, as you head off to new cities, new teams, new schools, and new chapters, try to carry these lessons with you. Remember that perseverance will take you farther than talent alone. That hard work beats easy wins. That dedication is a daily decision. That loyalty to your people, your principles, and your purpose is what will shape your legacy. And that responsibility, the ability to step up, to lead, and to be counted on, will make you indispensable. You earn this moment. Now take it and run. Congratulations, class of 2025. We are so proud of you. Now go on your way, be smart, be safe, and if you ever need advice, motivation, or a shoulder to cry on, you've got a great group of faculty that'll always be here for you. I'd like to invite Ms. Cole to address our graduates.
Good morning, guests, families, friends, faculty, members of the Board of Trustees, those watching around the world, and our graduates. It is the greatest honor and a true joy to introduce a new tradition here at Kent's Hill School, the Alumni Pinning Ceremony. With this simple gesture, we mark a profound moment, your transition from student to alumni. Today, you officially join a remarkable network of more than 7,000 Kent's Hill alumni around the world. From Montreal to Madrid, Portland to Prague, Boston to Budapest, wherever life takes you, there's a fellow Husky not far away. And so before we send you off into this wild and wondrous world, I want to share a few hopes that I have for you as a member of Kent's Hill's class of 2009. Most of all, I hope that you stay connected to Kent's Hill, to this place, and to each other. I hope that you're in each other's weddings, meet each other's families and friends, and one day maybe even hold each other's babies, whether fur ones, human ones, or chosen ones. I hope that you show up for each other in moments that matter, the housewarmings and hospital visits, the late night phone calls, and the do I break up with them or do I just need a snack texts. I hope that you celebrate new jobs, relationships, businesses, projects, and cross-country moves. I hope you raise a glass to each other's wins and look forward to Mr. Hodgen wishing you a happy birthday on Facebook every year. I hope that you find the time and make excuses to see each other, to reach out, to show up, to support across years, across miles, and across oceans. I hope that you come back to Kent's Hill for reunions, homecomings, graduations, and games, or just to visit your brick on the alumni path, pet a few dogs, and watch one more spectacular sunset over the fields. I really do hate to break it to you, but there's nothing quite like a Kent's Hill sunset. I hope that the core values that shaped your time here, responsibility, courage, perseverance, and compassion, continue to guide your choices, both in the moments that test you and in the moments that define you. I hope that you find your own version of a life of purpose and principle, whatever that looks like, and that you keep looking, keep searching until you find it. For me, that meant finding my way back to Kent's Hill after a few twists of fate and spending nearly a decade doing the work that I love, all with the hope of making this school and this community a little better, a little stronger, and a little brighter for all of us. And now it's your turn. To mark this important milestone, I would like each of you to find and hold the card that was on your seats with your alumni pin. I would like to invite two of my colleagues and two fellow Kent's Hill alumni to join us. Please welcome Mr. Chris McInerney, class of 2002, and Mr. Scott King, class of 1983. Now, please remove the pin from your card. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to turn to the person on your left and place your pin on their gown. If you're sitting at the beginning of a row, don't worry. You'll receive your pin from Mr. McInerney or Mr. King. Now, please turn to the person on your left and place your pin on their gown. Today, I leave you with one final hope. I hope that you take a moment to reflect on what this pin symbolizes. Your shared journey, your connection to one another, and the beginning of your life as a Kent Hill alumni. I hope that you keep it and wear it with pride. Congratulations. Please welcome Reverend Keeney back to the podium to give the benediction.
Graduates, today is a day of success. You have come to this point achieving your goal of educational excellence. Along the way, there were many smaller successes, top marks on tests, athletic victories, friendships developed. You recognize these moments as wins because they came with clear markers. A's on papers, trophies handed out, celebrations with your peers, which is all great. But in the years ahead, success will often come in subtler forms, without announcements or applause. Sometimes the most important moments in your lives won't be marked by obvious delineation. They might seem like ordinary days until you look back and realize that the choices you made shaped your future forever. Sure, there will be momentous occasions. For example, some of you have college and post-college graduations ahead, weddings and babies, triumphs at interviews. But today you start to truly decide what success in the future will look like for you. Now, society will want to skew you towards certain metrics, like accumulating wealth, attaining company recognition, and being seen as popular by the world's eyes. And all of that is good and fine, but I want to challenge you to think first with compassion instead of commission when creating your future self. I pray that you become an honorable adult. The world needs more good people, people of integrity, people of faith who have hope and live with a focus on the greater good, with kindness at their core. There are enough people who have power but no empathy. Be better than that. Don't forget that everyone deserves your care no matter who they are. And second, I pray that as the years pass, you can look in the mirror and like who you see. I pray that you are happy with who you become, and if not, that you find the courage to grow and change. While society is quick and ready to tell you who to be, ultimately you define yourself. So be authentic, be proud, but most of all, be the kind of person that you want to see more of in the world. In other words, I pray that you become the role model you wish you have. Dear God, I pray a blessing upon these students who now walk into the world with their heads held high on this day. May you cushion their steps with grace, guide them with your wisdom and teachings, and lead them to see this world as a gift, not a commodity, and themselves as beloved and valued. Amen.
Thank you all for helping us to celebrate our graduates in such spirit and such joy. And it is now nearly time for us to close. A quick note that as we end our ceremony, our bagpiper will begin to play, and we will first have our faculty recess so they may set up a receiving line for our newest alums. There are huge thanks to be given today for the many folks who made this ceremony happen. I particularly want to thank Ms. Margie Bailey, Ms. Andrea Emershai, Mr. Mason King, Mr. Keenan Farwell, Mr. Jake Burke, all of the members of our maintenance and facilities and grounds crews, and the many hands who showed up down at the Alfond this morning in order to make lighter work of relocating ourselves outdoors. And thank you to all of you for the collective power of hopes and prayers to make this ceremony happen outdoors on our beautiful campus. And now, the moment of parting is upon us. The speeches have been spoken, the hands have been shaken, the alumni pins adorned. To our newest alumni, know that we are so proud of everything that brought you to this day. Remember that you got here together, and that in supporting each other through your time here, you have strengthened this community with gifts that are going to outlast you. Remember that this will always be a home where you are welcome, because once a Husky, always a Husky. And until we meet again, have faith and kindness and in your strength to make this world a better one. Now please get on your feet and get those caps ready to toss. Ladies and gentlemen, let us celebrate the class of 2025. Well done.